Kevin and Sasha.
Welcome down to the final hour of the show, and we have something exciting going on right now. We have Mr. Ramindu Randeni, corporate leadership and business coach, with us today, and we also have someone who's a legend.
Yes.
Who's right here on the line with us.
He's on the line with us. Let's all say good morning to a very familiar name and face now as well.
Yeah.
Farveez Maharoof, good morning.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
It's
Well, better now that you are here. Maha, tell us, what have you been thinking? What do you think about the latest performances of the Sri Lankan team? I mean, they have certainly overachieved, wouldn't you say?
Definitely, Kevin. I think before they embarked on the tour, someone had said that our guys would have competed this much. I would have been surprised.
Yes.
So what these guys have achieved so far, I think it's beyond expectation, if I'm being really honest, in my personal opinion. But a lot of work to be done. Yes, the young team needs some experience. Some decision making have costed us losing some close games. But overall, I think these guys have exceeded expectations, if I may say like that.
Right. Well, let me introduce you, Maha, to Ramindu Randeni, who's a corporate leader and business coach. He's been sharing his thoughts with us for the last half an hour about the winning mentality that might be returning to Sri Lankan cricket. Ramindu, what do you have to add to what Maha just had to say?
Absolutely. And hi, Farveez. Big fan. Watching you for so many years, especially while I was living in the UK. Really enjoyed guys playing.
Cheers.
So it's absolutely like Maharoof said, that our guys need experience and did fantastically well given the condition that these guys are new.
Yes.
Right. So it's about experience and exposure. Now I just want to add something out of cricket. Michael Jordan, like they say, the best basketball player ever to be lived in the history. How many shots he missed?
Yeah.
In the games? Do you know the number?
I'm not entirely sure of the number, but
9,000.
Okay.
He missed 9,000 shots. Right? A lot of people don't know because it's overwhelming success. And how many games he lost while he was playing for Chicago Bulls?
That's also a number that escapes my mind, but
300.
Okay.
300 plus.
300 plus games.
Right? This is what cost to develop a master in the game. You need to have a system that obviously have patience and tolerance and guide this team not to decide the person's future with just a couple of losses or failures.
There
are a lot of mechanics to put in place. Like Maharoof says, there's a lot of work to be done. Because if you're talking about world-class platform, only one team win a World Cup.
Yes.
Right. So we need to have something special, something extra, something more to put ourselves in the person, because strategies are no more secret anymore. Right, everyone knows what we're doing. When Malinga was running, everyone knows. The whole world knows it's going to be a Yorker. Batsman knows, the umpire knows, the entire fans know it's going to be a Yorker. Still, he gets a wicket. Right, so it's not the strategy that takes place. I say 80% is the mindset, 20% is the strategy of the mechanics.
Right.
We need to have a different energy, different momentum for us to break out from this stage to go to different level. Just to quickly add, 96 World Cup, Sri Lanka had that extra energy the moment the Aussies refused to come to Sri Lanka for the World Cup. Right, and it triggered the rift that we had with Australians. And suddenly, our team had this momentum that now we must win the World Cup.
And we won Australia in the final.
And Ian Chappell said, Arjuna openly challenged, I like to see Australians in the finals.
And I don't think the Australians liked that.
They didn't like that. They got really disrupted with that. Right, we need to have that.
One thing I could add, if I may.
Sure.
I totally agree what you just said. And also, it all depends on how badly an individual wants to succeed.
100%.
Like, if I may say, like, anyone could, I wouldn't say anyone, any Sri Lankan can represent the national team by playing the domestic and coming to the structure. But once you get to the top level, right, it's easy to get there by performing. It's hard to stay there while performing, because it's hard to perform each and every day. So how badly you want to get there. Once you get there, how you're going to keep up. So these are mostly, it's going to be mental side of it.
Right.
So our guys need to be more mentally strong, because we've gone to the season system, like when we played in that era, we also lost all the matches. But what we did have that time is a proper leadership who guide us through. And at the moment, what I see one thing is lacking is a proper leadership. Why? Because most of we don't have much senior players.
Yes.
Senior players in any team sport, they thrive. They take the front seat, and the youngsters, rally around them. But at the moment, we do lack some leaders. So that's where we should be targeting. And also, you need to be identified as individuals, then the value of the team goes up. So how you do it? By performing and being consistent. So being consistency is a word that Sri Lankans have, for the last couple of years, we've been lacking. Our performance, if it takes, that is for a number of reasons. It's been happening. So these boys succeed in future, and the Sri Lankan values to get back to where it was. Individuals have to work harder. Then the individuals will come together as a team. Then the nation will shine through. So that's why when I meant a lot of work to be done, these are the things that we should consider. Because one thing is to have the brand. The main thing is how to get the brand to the next level.
That was actually going to be my next question for you. You did mention there were things that needed to be done. What specifically were those things? Now, he mentioned those things. Those, of course, leadership. It plays a massive role, as you quite rightly pointed out, Farveez. There's also, the individual performances and the consistency of those individual performances, stepping up those performances. Would you agree with Ramindu in the mental side of things? It's more mental than a talent thing or a physical thing.
Absolutely, that's spot on, right? As I said, it's all about mentality. How you gonna succeed in future, right? Individuals only be remembered for a little while, and if you win as a team, silverware, that's where you be remembered and you be respected. That's what this guy should understand. Individually, you could do wonders, score 100, take 5 wickets, hat-trick. These are good. These are very good. But you'll be remembered in time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And
These most of the things have to come in, right? And I completely agree. It's more about mental aspect rather than the technical aspect.
And talk about mental aspect, I remember, Farveez, one of my highlights of you was one game, I can't remember where exactly, the total score was also, I can't remember, a long time ago. We were clearly losing, and the last ball, we have to score 50 runs now, we are definitely gone, and Farveez was batting, and he smashed a 6. Right?
The game already gone.
Game over, but still smashed. You remember, I don't know if you remember that, a straight drive to 6. Right?
Of course he remembers.
It's not over till it's over.
Exactly. That's what I refused. I refused to stay in this kind of state. That's the amazing state.
Let's put it this way. These guys are talented. These guys are up there when they come to abilities, but they need some proper guidance. I've seen these boys coming through the system when I used to play the first class stuff.
Right.
These guys are brilliant, but you need some time. I understand some fans and spectators are losing their patience, This is natural because we are used to a winning mentality at the time.
Right.
But the sad truth is we need to start from the scratch. So we have to understand that, and we just have to move on in life. Expect some losers to come because we are experimenting so many players coming through.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, in a way, it's good because you are building up to a team for the next 6-7 years, which is good. And meantime, we need to give that bit of leverage to these boys, because as I said, before our team departed to Oman, if someone had told me that our team has performed the way they have, I'll be very, very surprised.
Exactly.
Because the form what they were before they left Oman, losing to South Africa comprehensively in the series, and all of a sudden you're competing in the Super Tour and you're giving around all of their money for the world's number one team, England, as well as a good team like South Africa.
Yeah.
I think our boys have done fairly well, but in the hindsight, the sad truth is we have hit a rock bottom where we need to come climbing up the ladder by working hard. So we are in that process. So we have to understand that.
Well, I just have one more thing to ask you, Farveez. We talk about leadership and guidance. Now, when we talk about that, we talk about the on-field leadership, which basically comes down to the captain and maybe the leadership group. There'll be 3 or 4 senior players there. What about when it comes to, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. What about when it comes to guiding these young boys as administrators of the game?
I think when it comes to administration stuff, right? I mean, they have this is how I say it. I'll take an example. Those days we used to play. We had nothing to do with administrator, right? Whatever facilities we wanted were provided. Similarly, these guys have been provided whatever they wanted. So whatever happens behind the scenes, it doesn't matter to the players to go out there and perform in the middle. And so that's how I look at it. I mean, administrative, there's going to be issues, political things. You can't stop that. You just have to move on with it. Yeah. But what's in your control is to go out there, perform for your country, give your best. Even though you fail giving your best 100%, it's fine. But as far as you come out of the field thinking, you're hitting the shower thinking, right, I gave my 100%, it didn't work out. That's fine, because if you're going to have off days. But you just can't put the blame on the administrators only. It's about the players at the end of the day, because, when players loses, the value is going to lose. The players win, the value is going to go high. Simple as that.
I mean, 100% agree with Farveez. When the players walked into the ground, whatever the problems they had, there are no selectors in the ground, there are no politicians in the ground.
Let me tell you, even when I played, without revealing any name, there were issues in the team, right? But, sometimes a few guys will see their face in the morning. But once you get to the dressing room, those are back of the office. You get to the warm-ups, until you finish the game, we all won.
Absolutely.
So, similarly, individual clashes, so you can't stop it. It will happen. But end of the day, the pride is to play for your country.
Absolutely.
And forget all issues what you have, play out there, and come on. So, that's a norm. That's the luxury of playing for your national team. Right? You get recognized, you get rewarded, so you might as well give your 200%. Forget all the personal issues what you have with, if you have any issues.
Yeah.
When I say that, if you have any issues with some of the team, the country is not to be put in the middle.
Absolutely. You can't let those distractions, take
no chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So focus on the fullest control. Basically, you have the fullest control the moment you're in the ground.
Yeah.
Right, everything you can forget. Nobody can do anything. You have the ball.
You have the bat. Yep.
That's it.
It's all in your hand.
It's about giving your 100%. As I said, there's no guarantee that you're going to perform every day.
Yeah.
Right? If you hit the shower after the game thinking, I gave my 100%, it just didn't work out, that is totally fine. But cricket is, you need to have a lot of luck.
Yeah, you need a lot of luck. And, as Sri Lankan cricket fans, we've also developed a lot of patience watching these boys over the last couple of years. Where do you think this team is headed, Farveez, in the next couple of years? In the next, let's say until the T20, ICC World T20 next year in Australia, where do you think from now until then our boys might be headed?
This is an important question. When you build up to the level which these boys have built up, though we lost matches, it's very important to maintain that level and, work hard to raise the bar again. Consistency, the word, we mentioned consistency. Now, you come out of the World Cup, then the West Indies tour, then the LPL players will be playing their different franchises. Yeah. From next year onwards, there's going to be a lot of cricket, right? Be it the Test cricket, one-day cricket, T20 cricket. You just have to raise the bar.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Now, we've come down so much in the rankings, our values, when I say values, the market values of the team. When you lose matches, market values goes down.
True.
So it's the player's responsibility to perform to a level where the people of these countries get satisfied. Because, end of the day, we have to satisfy the fans here. Because there are some die-hard fans, even in our time. We had some magnificent support we will still cherish. So similarly, it's a boy's responsibility, right, to go out there, represent the 22 million as well as the other millions who are living abroad, to go out there and make them feel proud.
Absolutely.
That's the hard part of our job. Being a professional is not easy, Kevin. I'm telling you. There are a lot of sacrifices. You're going to have a lot of disappointments. But this is the field you have chosen. Rewards are high if you perform. So, myself, give your 200%, work hard off the scene. When I say off the scene, is that behind the scene you need to work on your fitness, your technical part, your mental part.
Yeah.
And you come to the screen, people don't see those.
No.
You work hard behind.
And it's all part of the whole package that you're talking about, the brand. Like, for example, Ramindu, I think you can back me up on this. If Wanindu Hasaranga wanted to, I'm just taking Wanindu Hasaranga as an example here, nothing, just randomly. But if Wanindu Hasaranga were to get all of that together, he has to think of himself as, I am Wanindu Hasaranga, I am Wanindu Hasaranga Private Limited. You know what I mean? I have to get all of the things that he mentioned, that Farveez just mentioned. Yeah. I have to get all of them working together on a consistent basis if I want to, up my brand and get my performances up.
To be honest, that happens as a byproduct.
Yeah.
Okay, just like Farveez said, the flag that carries in the front matters more than your name in the back. There's a reason why the flag is the front and the name is in the back.
Right.
At the moment you're selected to play for the national side, you're no longer you.
Yeah.
Right? You are Sri Lanka.
Right.
Right. When you switch that, then as a byproduct, of course, Farveez Maharoof, Sana Jalsuri, those branded are made as a byproduct.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I'm sure there are a lot of time the top players, Arjuna, Aravinda, etc., they didn't score their half century because they were focused on winning the game.
Right.
Right. There are so many. You look at a track record like that. So all that you of course you create great wealth, recognition, like Farveez said, and for the rest of your life you cherish these moments. They're all byproduct of serving the country.
Serving the country, yes.
The thing is, you represent as an ambassador where you will go. Even when you're on tour, even when you're abroad, if you go out for a dinner or gathering, you have to have a pride of yourself that you are ambassador.
Yes.
That's the mentality you should take for. I'm pretty sure these boys does do it, but unfortunately, when you lose matches the way we have, those values are going to go down. So that's natural. But it's important to maintain that level. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you can lose games, you can perform bad, but just that if you 100% do that, it's fine. That's how I look at it. But you don't give a fight, you just go through the motion, then there's an issue.
Yeah.
That's where the leadership plays a pivotal role in this team, because honestly speaking, in this team, how many senior players are there? In our time, when I say our time, I will only take example of myself because I can't speak to anyone else.
Right.
I had so many senior players guided me through. So similarly, these youngsters who are coming in, they don't have much senior players to guide them.
Yeah.
The other thing is, some of the senior players' places in the team is not guaranteed as well because they haven't performed. So naturally, you don't tend to think of the entire team. So these are the issues that we need to address and get over as much as possible, because we just look at the numbers. It's just not the numbers. It's the other way around. It's a pyramid that you need to fill in from the below itself, from the ground itself.
Okay.
100%. Yes.
All right. I love that. So, Farveez, you've been with us. I think you've been on the phone with us now for close to half an hour. Any parting words? Anything you'd like to any parting words you'd like to leave us with? Perhaps obviously, I don't think. We're going to need a miracle on top of a miracle. We're going to need results going in all sorts of fantastical ways for us to make it through to the semifinals. So I think we can, forget about that. But any parting words into what you can say for what this team can do for the future of Sri Lankan cricket, for the hope of the nation, really?
Yeah, I mean, thing is, Kevin, at the moment, South Africa won yesterday. We are officially out of the World
Yeah.
Cup. That is guaranteed, so we got one more game. And I, personally, knowing these boys, being in this structure for a long time, definitely I see some light end of the tunnel with these boys coming through the system, working so hard. I mean, I've seen these guys train. So, hard work, is up there. Just that they need to put their hard work into the performances. So,
Yes.
personally, how I see it, these guys do have that grit and determination to get through all the barriers is going to challenge them in the next World Cup next year, as well as the One Day World Cup, ODI World Cup 2023. The build-up should be up to there. And as fans, as spectators, as well-wishers, as Sri Lankan, it's important to support these boys, whether we lose or not. I mean, when I say it, I know it's hard when we lose. Naturally, even I get frustrated sometimes. But, we just can't let our brand go away. Sri Lankan cricket brand has a huge value, right?
Absolutely.
So to do that, we need to support these guys. And I understand as fans, when we lose, we go through the motion, we get angry. But we just have to, rise up and back these boys. And hopefully these guys will work on their consistency. That's the word I'm going to use mostly, consistency. Now, they have performed to a level where Sri Lankans are satisfied. But how are you going to maintain that? This is where, as a team, they need to regroup, they need to chat, they're going to be honest among themselves in the team, speak the truth, let it out in the team meeting, and take it forward, basically. And, as I said, don't bring that value down of Sri Lankan cricket brand. It is a unique brand, probably the biggest brand in Sri Lanka. So don't compromise on it.
Absolutely.
Work hard. And as fans and, well-wishers, just back them. I know sometimes it's hard, but let's do it. We have to just do it for the sake of our country.
Exactly. So there we go. That's the message to the boys, to keep it consistent. But the message to all the keyboard warriors out there, all the Facebook cricket experts sitting on their mother's couch with a big bowl of popcorn and a pot belly, keep supporting the boys. Keep supporting the boys. You can't be yelling at them. You can't be telling, they should have done this, they should have done that. Keep supporting them. And that's coming to you from the horse's mouth. The horse being Farveez Maharoof.
Awesome. And like Farveez said, believe the light at the end of the tunnel.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
Silent all this time because, I was
She
absorbing every
coffee.
single word that he said, where's the mic?
Yeah,
and
fantastic
coming
though.
from a lot of experience.
Absolutely. And he mentioned, because he played with champions. Like, remember earlier I said the champion environment was missing.
Yeah.
And he said exactly that.
The game's not over till it's over. That's what he said when you brought up his example of a last ball six, even though the game's far from
over.
Yeah,
yes. That's what champions do.
Yeah.
Because we're champions. We don't judge ourselves with this victory or loss. This is who we are. This is an expression. The champion behavior is an expression.
Yeah.
We don't based on preferences.
Yeah.
There are two things. Are you a champion by choice or are you a champion by preferences?
Right.
Meaning, when I win the game, when I score a half century, if I win the World Cup, I'm a champion. That's a different state of mind. But the most elite, most superior mindset is, I'm a champion by choice.
Right.
Whatever happened, if they kick me out 10 times, I'll come back again because this is my rightful position.
Yeah.
I am the champion. That's a whole different state of mind.
Absolutely. All right. Fantastic. We've had such fabulous insight. Ramindu, I got to ask you the same thing that I just asked Farveez Maharoof. What would you like to part with when you're talking about the boys right now? You know what they've done. You know what they've achieved. We've seen for our eyes over the past 2 weeks or so, or even further beyond that, as he brought up the Oman series as well. What would you like? What's the message to the Sri Lankan cricket team and to the Sri Lankan fans now?
Yeah. For the cricket team, I think it's just like Farveez said. I 100% agree. We need to develop a leader.
Yeah.
Right. So it all boils down to the final decisions.
Yeah.
Leader has to say, not the coach, not anybody. Right.
Yeah.
At that moment, he decides what to do with it.
I don't think there's any sport where the captain is more important to the team than cricket. I mean, a football captain, you're just running around with the other 10 guys. A rugby captain, you're running out with the other 14. But the
Yeah.
cricket captain is the one who makes the decision where the fielders go, who's bowling what over, who's doing what.
It's a big job.
It's a big job.
It's a big job. So we need to develop a strong leader where we can have a long journey with for 10 to 14 years.
Yeah.
So we need to so leadership doesn't come from the air again. We need to identify someone who has potentially great. That person need to have a desire, hunger. Wow, I want to be the captain of the Sri Lankan team kind of a person.
Yeah.
And then construct that person over the time with the leadership tools, techniques and behavior.
Right.
And this person cannot put their title down the moment the game is
No,
over.
exactly. You're still got to hold up to that.
You're a leader
name.
24/7.
Yeah.
Right? Until you retire.
Exactly.
So that's the key message here for
Yeah.
the fans. Our fans are great compared to India, but we need to be patient and understand where we are.
Yeah.
We need to see it as it is.
Yeah.
No, not how we like to see it is.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
As it is like Farveez said, we're back to square again.
Exactly. He
We
was
need to-
very brutally honest about that.
Yeah, we are a
at
few years away.
Yeah.
Seeing our team back to our usual cricket brand, Sri Lankan
We
cricket.
are at square one. He's right about that. And he also happened to agree with you that it's mostly mental.
Yep.
It's mostly mental. And you got to have a very strong mindset because you got to leave everything out the ground. Once you're outside the boundary ropes, you got to leave everything outside those boundary ropes before you step in.
Yeah.
All you have to do is focus on performing inside those boundary
Yeah,
ropes.
you need to associate a different language. The moment you cross the boundary, whoever troubled you,
Yeah.
they have no control.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So you need to say that I'm in control now,
Yeah.
and that determines what's going to happen to your career after that.
All right. Sasha.
Yeah.
Say something.
Like I said, I'm just
Sasha,
absorbing
say-
whatever you
say
guys
something.
are saying.
Say something stupid now. No, but I did want to bring up this other point that he also brought up. The fact of the matter is, A, we don't have a lot of senior players, and B, they aren't regulars in the team. So these boys are left to themselves to try and, build up this culture.
that can be dealt with this way, since you brought that up. If you associate a different picture for yourself, right? How do you see yourself? You need to define yourself. I am that next legend.
Yeah.
You need to create that. Remember, Muhammad Ali said, "I'm the greatest," way before he was anywhere near that.
Yeah.
So you need to associate that and identify, and because you have to define yourself, not the cricket board, not the authorities, not the cricket fans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to define yourself who you are. If you do that, the journey will be accelerated
Yeah.
towards that greatness.
Absolutely. All right, so there we go. Ramindu Randeni and Farveez Maharoof joining us for what has been a magnificent conversation. We probably should have got the Sri Lankan Cricket Board to tune in as well. Hey, listen, we got something for you to listen.
Listen, please. You might get some ideas.
We got a man who's been there, done that, and we got a man who can take care of the mental side of the players like no other man in Sri Lanka could. This has been fascinating, Ramindu.
Absolutely amazing, and well done, guys. Thanks a lot for inviting me and talking about this hot topic. A lot of people
Yeah.
in darkness, so thanks a lot. Great, passionate hosts like Kevin and Sasha. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, clueless.
Clueless
host,
Sasha,
host
yeah.
like Sasha. So, yeah.
The one takeaway I would tell everybody who's listening in right now, keep supporting the boys. We are in a dark tunnel, but you can still see a little bit of light at the end of it. So hold on to that hope that light is giving you.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you very much, Ramindu.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot. Live with spirit, guys. Thank you.
Red 107.8. 107.8.